The intro. That's right. We haven't done that. All right, let's go. Any topics? That was a solid intro.
That's the legit intro guy? All right, cool.
That was fucked, dude.
What the fuck are you talking about? Everyone's gonna jump when they hear this intro. It's gonna be that little intro music, and then you hear
Shit. Instant X, no fucking viewers. It's like, god damn. Average runtime 2 seconds.
Oh, no, remember we were going to try the conundrum first.
Yes, yes.
Oh, let me get my notepad. Because we did gaming equipment last time, yeah?
Mad Cat sponsorship.
Oh my god, I can't wait to buy one of them fucking things. Okay. So I had an idea about a new game. So, things that have gotten really popular right now are Teamfight Tactics from Riot and that Dota thing that they had before that. Where it's like an auto battler where you get like little people and you put them on the board and they fight each other. It's really fun. I was like, what about a Pokemon auto battler? Yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay, why?
Those auto battlers are stupid.
Wow, okay. What's wrong?
Next question.
I'm sorry, dude. I just don't like them. Not even a little bit.
They're nice when I just want to turn my brain off and do something.
Yeah, I don't understand idle games. Or like
not
auto battlers and shit like that.
Well, it's not like, fuck. I'm not trying to call you out big. What's the game you play?
Summoner's War?
That. It's not like that at all. It's competitive. You have to, like, manage your money and, like, you buy 3 of one thing and then he upgrades type shit. There's a whole rank system.
None of that sounds appealing.
Neat. Steady.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in the middle of something and I didn't hear what the conundrum was.
Yeah. You know what? Just suck just a huge, huge wiener.
I don't know if I'd want to play another auto battler, though. That's the only thing. Like, I'm already stuck into Summoner's War.
Well, because Teamfight Tactics is nothing like Summoner's War. Because I don't know if you'd call it an auto battler. I think there's, like, subcategories or something. I don't know. Like, metal music.
I don't know, then. Because I didn't touch Teamfight Tactics at all. Like, I avoided that like the plague. It did not look fun at all.
I'd like it. Leave in the comments what you think. Pokemon auto battler. Steady's still typing or something.
No, I'm not. I'm here now. Just completely missed the conundrum.
Oh, you want me to go over it again?
Sure.
Too bad. Listen to the intro.
Awesome.
We're off to a real strong start.
God damn.
Out the gate swinging. There's just a Pokemon auto battler.
What the fuck is an auto battler?
It's
Like, give me an example.
You ever see Teamfight Tactics?
No.
It's a game where you literally just... You remember
Is it like
old Final
vs.
Fantasy?
Zombie?
Yeah. Like, old Final Fantasy where you just hit, like, whatever move and then it would just fucking do all the additionals for you. It wasn't, like, anything...
So, Teamfight Tactics is you, like... There's a bunch of champions and they have, like, a little loot pool. You have to spend your gold to get them. If you get 3 of the same one, they upgrade and get stronger. And they have like, attributes that go together and they do different shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them on your board on where you want them. And then when you fight somebody, like it has like, will tell you who you're facing next. And then those guys go out and just battle themselves.
Oh,
it's like a strategy game.
Chance of winning based on like how you set up your character and whatnot.
And how well you manage your income and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So that for Pokemon?
Yeah. Like you get 3 Charmanders and you get a Charmeleon. You get 3 Charmeleons, you get a Charizard. Shit like that.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they would have tried that already if they saw that as a viable thing.
Well, the auto battlers are like brand new. Like they started, I think, last year.
gonna pass on that because I definitely enjoy my gameplay to be more interactive. Like it's the main reason why I hate turn-based games.
Will I think it happened? No. I like the idea of it, though.
It's just like less of a conundrum and more of do you want to see this genre like apply to this franchise?
It was a question. Do you want the conundrum? Here, Ryu Hayabusa versus the dude from Sicario. All out, too. They just hold nothing back.
You're talking about Benicio del Toro's character?
No, not. Shadows Die Twice, whatever that game is.
Oh, well then, guy. All right.
Actually, no, fuck it. Benicio del Toro versus Ryu Hayabusa.
Was I the only one that thought that when he said Sicario? No.
Fuck it. Del Toro.
God damn it.
This whole beginning of the show is off to a fucking banger.
All because he didn't want to do a proper fucking intro, and like the end view was fucked.
No, it was a shitty intro.
What are you talking about?
That intro was a conundrum, dude. Fuck.
Started the show off in fifth gear, and you guys just stumbled at the starting line.
Oh, you tried to fucking leave a red light in fifth gear, and now we're just bogging trying to catch up, dude.
Topics. I'm sure we've got some.
Do you wanna go into Geforce now, or do you want to save that for kind of like?
No, fuck it. We can start off with that. So you guys familiar with the Nvidia's competitor to Stadia?
No.
So,
Yeah,
Geforce announced their service starting at $5. I think there's a free version and like the $5 version. It kind of lets you do what Stadia does, but it's your own library, your own games. So it's more like you're paying for access your games from wherever the hell you want, which is pretty cool because you already own the fucking game, and it's not bad. I think for the $5 they have certain time slots. Let me get the specific information on that.
So I know for the free one, it's only an hour session length.
Yeah.
And
which
then
isn't bad, because like if you're at work and you've got more than an hour to play, maybe you need more things to do at work.
Was there like a cooldown time for your hour?
I would assume so. It's probably like an hour a day, I would think. Because it doesn't really give like the specifics on like. It'll give you like I'm on the website right now and it shows the differences between the memberships, but it only gives like super.
Yeah, stream the games that you own, which I think is pretty cool.
So is it like my Steam games?
Yeah. Anything that's on like the because you know how the Geforce, they have like those games that you have and then you could launch them through there. I think those are the games that you'd be able to get on your Geforce Now subscription.
So you get the free membership, so standard access, whatever the fuck that means, 1 hour session length. So I'm guessing that's over a 24-hour cooldown. The Founders Edition is $5 a month for 12 months, priority access, whatever the fuck that means, extended session length, RTX on, and free 90-day introductory period. So even then, it doesn't sound like it's unlimited usage. It's just like you're granted an extended use.
So I'm assuming that by priority access, they mean they're gonna bog down people that are on the free so they can get quality of service to people that are paying for it.
I would assume so.
So like, how do you guys think this compares to what Stadia offers?
I think it's cool, but as like the odd man out as the Apple user, unless they make like an iOS app for it, I'd have no need for it because I don't really carry around a laptop. And it wouldn't be so much for my phone, but I have the iPad Pro, so it'd be super cool if they would come out with like an iOS app for it. And
I mean, if they do it like Stadia did their beta, it was browser based. I was able to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey at work on a Mac. And it was no problem because you're basically streaming the computer is doing everything. You're just streaming the signal. So if it's browser based, it should work on a Mac.
No, but that's the thing. I have iPad. It's running like a iPad version of the iOS that's on the phone. I don't know if that would like fuck around with, because I don't have like an actual web browser. I just have the Safari, which is like a mobile version of it.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's cool. It's definitely cool because competition is only good for the consumer.
I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot to see the free version and see what it's like. I'll probably do that this week then, because at most what I've been doing at work now is like remote desktoping through TeamViewer, like into my computer and playing like the marketplace in Tarkov this week. That's about it.
Especially with Stadia, it seems like with this it'll be obsolete in a couple months. But as far as like, I'm interested to see as what xCloud is going to be, which is Microsoft's version, and I wonder what they're going to do with PlayStation Now. Because PlayStation Now has been out for like forever, but I have Ethernet cable running to my PS4, and I get 300 down and like 35 up, but it still says my internet connection isn't strong enough to stream the games. So it just kind of makes me think like if there's something that they're gonna fix with the codec in like the coding or whatever, because it seems like other companies are able to have like decent streaming on the games, but the PlayStation is still lagging behind. It just makes me interested to see what's going to happen in the next generation of consoles and going forward with PC.
So, I mean, that it kind of brings into like a different point. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So, Verizon is actually giving people that are backing their fiber internet free Google Stadia equipment.
That's weird. You would think Google Fiber would take advantage of that.
Right?
But Google Fiber is not everywhere, whereas Verizon is.
No, it's not. We don't have Verizon here. We have their phone, but we don't have Fios here.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's more readily available than Google's options are.
Like,
That's fair.
that'd be the only thing that I can see like internet companies using for that. Like, even if NVIDIA wanted to hop in on that board.
That's super interesting. It's cool, but I don't understand why. It's kind of confusing me because it's like you have to buy the games and then you have to pay to play outside. And it's like, I feel like that's a super niche market. Because who's that fucking thirsty that they want to play everything everywhere? I don't know if it's going to be like that's going... Because I don't know. I don't get if like this $4.99 is just going to be until it's like normalized.
Right, because it seems a little vague. It's like introductory and 12 months,
like,
$4.99.
Like, I don't know if this $4.99 to get it off the ground, or because I think that xCloud is going to find a way to integrate that into Game Pass.
Right.
It's like you're going to be paying for, I would assume like maybe $20 or $14.99 to stream any game that you want, but you don't have to buy the game as well. So I don't understand like why. Granted, their marketing is very, very, very smart. They're saying, "Hey, it's your games. You don't have to buy them, but you technically do have to buy them." Because that's where they're trying to differentiate themselves from Stadia, but it's really not that different.
Yeah, you're not buying the game, but you're still paying to access your game across their servers and this and that.
So it seems like it's the same shit, but apparently, because I watched a couple of videos on it, people are saying that it's working better than Stadia as far as like the graphics and the actual like the way that the game runs.
So I guess you could view it as like Stadia is the option until they like improve their hardware, but Stadia is the way to access games that you don't own, so new games. Whereas with Geforce Now, it's like play the games you already have. So I guess pick your poison at that point.
I think honestly, I just want to wait till xCloud comes out to see. But that's what I'm saying. Competition is good because they're gonna see that they now have competition. They're gonna, whoever comes with the best price and the best features, that's where I'm going.
But like between these two, so like Stadia offering you games you don't own, and GeForce allowing you to play the games you do own, which would be more appealing to you?
I think the Nvidia, the Geforce Now, because it's like you have to pay for the games that you can only access through Stadia. If GeForce Now closes down or like their servers get shut down, you still have those games at home. So I wouldn't want to put all my money into like investing in this huge Stadia library, and then when Google says fuck you to Stadia, then I'm out all those games.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. Could you imagine having like a huge Steam library for Stadia and then they just die?
Oof.
That would suck.
I kind of feel that way about because I pay for Google Music, and I have hundreds of songs that I have there, and I have access to as long as I keep paying them. So it's like the day I say, hey, I don't want to pay for this anymore, like I'll lose access to all that fucking music.
That's like my thing with the Disney Plus. Now that they have Marvel, but I have all of my Marvel shit on Amazon. I was like, they ever try to take that off Amazon, I'm fighting somebody. The whole universe. But on this whole streaming thing, what about the Steam Link? You think one of them could work with Steam Link?
How does the Steam Link work again? Isn't that like just
It's like-
streaming in the house from one device to
Essentially,
another?
but you can put it on like your tablet or your phone, but Steam has to be open on your computer that you're paired with. But if one of these people can work with them and get like a cloud storage where you can take your Steam games anywhere, I don't know why they're not pairing them with that. You know what I mean?
Well, doesn't GeForce allows you to access your Steam library
Yeah, for an hour.
for free?
Steam Link's
For an
free.
hour for free, yeah.
The Steam Link is free right now. You know, so I don't get why I have to pay for that.
Well, I don't think any service that's going to give you unlimited access to your stuff over the internet is going to ultimately be free.
They should fix that.
I just think because I think that's the divide that it's going to be for people that are buying this. Like all of us are still, at least, well, let me not speak for all of us, but for me at least, going to a store and getting physical media is still fresh on the mind. Like I still remember going to midnight releases for games and shit. So this seems like it's fucking stupid. It's like, why don't, and even like downloading games from the storefronts on consoles doesn't make sense because you don't have any collateral if the game sucks. Like granted, GameStop won't give you enough money because you can't return them in store either, but you still have that physical copy that you can get rid of if you hate it. That's why all of this like Stadia and GeForce Now and xCloud and fucking the PlayStation Now, that really, it's like, fuck. Why am I gonna pay for extra when I could just go get the physical media and then have that piece, and then like if it sucks, I could get rid of it instead of like. And also on the other hand, if it's really good, I have it there physically, so if the servers go down, I still have that game to play. So it's like from a collector standpoint, not saying like I don't really collect games, like I collect other things. That's kind of hurting that entire like subculture.
I get it, because there are people that still like to see their collection laid out of titles and whatnot. Like anybody that was a PS2 gamer, you know, you had your little library of games stacked up however you had it, and it was like, look at the selection. It was pretty awesome. I have personally shifted away from that, and the clutter that creates is like, no, I'm good. Digital all the way.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's like, what if that game's that good and you want to, like, in 15 years from now, you want to access that game, but these servers are down? It's like, damn, now what? Now, like, for example, Time Splitters. We've been waiting on a fucking remaster or whatever forever because, like, PlayStation 2, yeah, you can go buy one or you can hunt down a PS3 that's backwards compatible, but it's like, if like there were no console generations hypothetically and that game was still there, you can just go pick it up at a store and play it instead of having to wait on some other means of getting that. That's my only problem with this, is like, yeah, it's convenient, but it's like, fuck. Those games aren't always going to be available. At least that's what I think in the back of my mind.
I don't think services like this are ever going to go away. Like, say, Steam, for example. If that's about to go bankrupt, someone's buying this market. And all you're going to do is transfer your account to whatever the fuck they're going to be called now.
True, but the current version of what Boom's saying exists already with Netflix. How often does Netflix... you'll see articles like, oh, things that are leaving Netflix this month. Those are movies like you pay for the service, and those are movies or shows that you're not going to be able to watch anymore because they're being removed from the platform. So
yeah, like
no, with Steam, I mean, once you
is,
buy the game, even if they don't sell that game anymore, it's still in your Steam.
Oh no, right. But
no,
like
that's
from the
not
streaming
what I'm talking
services,
about. I'm talking about the streaming aspect of it.
like let's say you have Stadia, and let's say Stadia doesn't go away, but 20 years down the line they lose the licensing to one of the games or some bullshit. And like this title is no longer offered on our platform. Like you're fucked if you don't have a physical means of playing the game.
Then they should be able to refund you the full price of when you bought it, so you can go get it now.
In 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's not your fault that they lost that shit.
I don't think any service has ever
really
provided
fucking generous
that.
return policy.
Like if not, like for instance, that'd be like, oh hey, we're taking out your favorite movie from Netflix. It's like, all right, cool. Do I get a discount this month on my bill since you're removing it?
Oh no, because you didn't buy it. You have the service for like what, fucking $12 for however many movies. That's not a thing. But if I bought that movie through Netflix and I was like, hey, this is my movie, and they're like, no, we're getting rid of it. I'm like, no, I get that whole amount back. Like, I'm not going to get a discounted price for that.
Like a credit to your account or some shit. They would have to think about something like that. Then I do see that.
They wouldn't though, because that goes back to last week's topic. How fucking Nintendo still doesn't want to refund you if you haven't played the game. And to take it even further, they won a case on that where they don't have to give the money back. And that's just me. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the parade of like all digital, but that's like a reality going forward. Like,
yeah, because you don't own the content.
You're essentially paying, you're giving them money to rent it indefinitely. But whenever they say it's gone, that's it.
And there's even been arguments about this kind of stuff with physical. I don't know if you guys remember, like way back in the 360 days when DLC was already on the disc that you purchased, but you didn't have access to it. And the counter argument back then was like, it was just an easier means to make sure that everybody had it, but you didn't pay for access to it because you don't really own any of the shit that, like, even if it's on disc, you don't own it, air quotes. You kind of, that's just like the physical means of renting it or whatever, like getting access to it, but you don't own it. So even though the DLC was on the disc and you bought the disc, you technically didn't have the right to play that DLC and shit.
Oh, the good old days of fucking semantics.
I think I brought something like that up fucking early in our podcast careers. I was talking about like old PlayStation games. You didn't have to update them.
You sound a little distant now. Like
I started leaning back.
Gotcha.
I was chilling. But like, say I think I brought Final Fantasy VII. They never had to like resend you a game like, hey, we updated and fixed some bugs. I feel like now that everything's so digital, they just shove shit at us and like, hey, here's a game, we'll fix it when we find out what's wrong with it.
Yeah, early access is like, here you go. We'll give you an early access.
And I think
a couple years from now, we might take it out of beta or early access.
I think it's a huge advantage for physical copies. Or if they stop doing this whole, this has to be hooked up to the internet anyway for you to play. And be like, no, just fucking fix my game before you fucking finish it. We brought that up with the Halo thing on Steam.
You had an issue as well with COD. You couldn't play it till a couple of updates later.
Yeah, it was like fucking 6 of them.
Every fucking update for that game was like 40 gigs, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like back in the day, if they had that on fucking PlayStation 2, they'd be like, hey, here's your game. It might get scratched. I mean, that's the only issue I'm going to have. The
only time I remember an issue personally was when I went to go buy Sonic Adventures on Dreamcast. My mother and the guy that sold it let her know that, hey, there's a small chance, like maybe 1 out of every 10 copies isn't reading properly on the Dreamcast.
Yeah,
It's
that's
1 out of 10.
Yeah, it was like a small chance. They said like a 1 out of 10,
small chance.
and it's like,
That's a huge check.
well, yeah. So, but the way that he pitched it was like, there's a chance that this copy doesn't work on it. Worst case scenario, bring it in, swap it if the Dreamcast doesn't read it. But like that's about it. And then I think there was one with Grand Theft Auto 4 on the Xbox. Some people could never get past the opening intro with the docs and everything, and no update was able to fix it or anything. Like it could have been like the copy of the disc, or some Xbox, some units didn't read it itself. Like very rare cases of it being a hardware thing linked to the disc. Whereas now, fucking you buy an early access game and they're telling you up front, shut the fuck up, understand that you're buying an early access, and eventually we'll get it to work for you, maybe, maybe not.
Fuck.
Like Star Citizen. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Like Star Citizen. Star Citizen was pitched fucking how many years ago? And when you paid in for it, you were given the alpha. You were given access to it. How the fuck, when this game finally comes out, is it still going to have the same minimum requirements to play it that it did when you first bought into the campaign many, many, many years ago?
Dude,
So early access kind of pisses me off because it's like there's like two extremes with game developing. It seems like the people that are early accessing their games is like they're on the super fucking lazy end, but we're still giving them money. And then if you look at like articles that we see about devs from Rockstar, to where they're like with these crazy ass fucking like working conditions and how their work like over hours, like,
oh yeah, that's a whole another topic we can get into.
It's like crazy, and it's like, fuck, well, Red Dead, like for example, Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5, it's like, this game is gorgeous, like, granted, there's little bugs here and there, but I feel like at least when there's a lot of bugs on like a Red Dead Redemption on a console, because I know there's a whole another fucking wormhole that we can go down with Rockstar games on PC. But I'm kind of like, oh well. Like, I'm not too mad about it because I know, like, a whole mess of fucking, like, time went into this game. And it's like, you could, like, we're all human. Like, you could miss it. But then on the other side, if, like, there's an early access bug, it seems like it'll be a bug for, like, fucking 4 or 5 months. And then the devs are like, oh, well, we finally got to it.
and even then, like how many times in an article, or an article, like a YouTube video or a forum post, it'll be like, oh, this shit has been around since alpha. This shit has been around since beta. And like we're already in the final release and said bug is still fucking there.
So spend a lot of time to finish the damn game.
And then that goes into the whole crunch time thing now. Where now companies feel like the best way to do it is just be transparent about it. Like, said game is going to be pushed back and we are going to have crunch time. And it's like, saying it up front that you're going to have crunch time doesn't make it any better. And everybody gets mad about crunch time from the consumer point of view, but how much do we really give a fuck? Because all we really care about in the end is like getting the goddamn game in our hands.
Like, I'm still bummed out that I'm not playing Doom Eternal.
Yeah, like if a company comes out and says, we're going to do crunch time, half of our staff quit because of our crunch time policies, but we're still going to get you the game. Are you going to ethically be like, well, I'm not going to buy the game because of how you're treating your employees? The reality is nobody's really going to give a fuck. You may bitch and moan for like a second, and then you're going to go out and buy it.
It gives me the whole visualization of someone be like, man, we've been working hard way too much, and you're like looking at them, you're like, that's wild. Like, as you get from them, like, again. And then like still like you can hear them in the background still bitching, and you're just like, I hope you feel better.
Like the Sonic movie, the internet fucking hated that initial trailer. The movie got revamped, crunch time galore. I also heard recently. I also recently heard that the studio that had to redo all of that shit shut down. Nobody's out here giving a fuck.
Fucked. But then again, you got to think about it. Like in those industries, those are like if you get into that industry, you know you'll always have a job. Like, you know, even if one company closes, I feel like that industry is so needed that you'd be able to find another job without too much worry. At least that's what helps me sleep at night.
Broom's like, here's a fact. I don't know. All I know is I feel better about it.
Yeah. At least I'm honest about it.
Somebody's out here like, but boom, here's the cold hard evidence that's not true. Well, I'm going to bed. So
yeah. But kind of switching gears. This is not a troll fucking topic, but I've been going to GameStops, like looking for. So I got back into Xbox because I really wanted to play older games, even though I know it's stupid to get into an Xbox when the new one's like on the horizon. But I feel like GameStop can be viable if both systems are backwards compatible, like meaning going all the way back through their whole catalog. And the only reason I say that is because I've been looking for Mafia 2 because I fucking refuse to pay $30 from the Xbox store, and GameStop has it for I think like $4.99 or $5.99. So it kind of got me like thinking about that. Like maybe this is just like, granted, a little bit more extreme than any other like mid-generation or end of the life cycle of an old console. So like maybe that on top of all the bad press is why they're getting super fucked. So I'm thinking like maybe with all of the pre-orders coming out for the Series X and the PS5, that'll help get them back to where they were. And that if both of them are backwards compatible, that's going to be a huge help for them, because I feel like they're still advertising that they're taking in games on all of these older consoles. And so I feel like they're just building their catalog of like older games so that once it's confirmed that both of them are backwards compatible, like physically, meaning that you'll be able to use a disc, they're going to have a fucking, like, they're going to have a crazy ass sale for all that stuff. And then I think also, like I said prior to when we were talking about Geforce Now and Stadia, I feel like that'll make it a lot better for gamers that are trying to get back into older games, because we'd have more competition and to like shop around, because they'll actually have the inventory for it.
Like, I was kind of starstruck because you said Mafia 2, and I was like, holy fuck, I forgot I had that.
Bringing back the oldies.
Bro, it was so much fun.
That's a good fucking game.
I forgot.
Fucking refuse to pay $30 for that shit.
Yeah, I just looked on Steam. It's $30 on Steam. But I'm like, I already have it. I don't care.
But you're not thinking about those that don't have it. Like, boom.
I don't give a shit.
That's the problem.
I really don't want to drive like 45 minutes to a mall that may or may not have it, but I'm really thinking about doing it.
At that point, you start taking into equation like, all right, 45 minutes in one direction, 45 minutes back. That's gas. Maybe buy something to eat. Should you just pay the $30 and get it digitally?
No. It's fucking $5.
Was Mafia 3 any good?
Nah.
Never
I
tried
think
it.
I got it when it was free. It was like, no, it wasn't that good.
Wait, which one was 3? I'm getting them all fucking confused.
That's where the dude comes back from Vietnam. And they're in Louisiana.
No. All right, so I did not play 3. I played 2.
This is not like what you think, like Godfather, Italian mafioso shit.
Right. I'm remembering.
Like,
That one had some controversy around it or some shit. I think like you saw dicks or something and people were like, what the fuck?
I don't even... How you remember that is remarkable.
It's just controversy like surrounding the
That was
game.
his favorite part.
I never played it.
Surrounding dicks. I don't know. I'm hoping that both are backwards compatible, so I can get into some older games that I like really miss.
So, older games. Going back to Steady talking about Sega or whatever. I found the Game Gear at my grandma's place.
Does it work?
It turned on for a second, but the batteries are dead. So I'm picking up batteries tomorrow.
We gotta meet up. I have a link cable.
Bro, hold on. Let me grab these games. I forgot what I have. Stay right there.
Like he was gonna go somewhere.
I know, right? He makes it sound like he's looking through shit, but we all know his apartment's empty.
Cases.
That's fucked, dude.
Ha 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 ha.
He just did a quick spin around, found it instantly.
It was on my counter
There you go.
because I picked it up from my mom yesterday. So
I got the game.
I was talking about that ninja game last time we were talking about it. Surf Ninjas is what it was called. It wasn't even a fucking
Why the
show.
fuck does that sound familiar? Hold on.
They have like the Jungle Book and the Berenstain Bears and
Oh shit! I have the Jungle Book too.
Chicago Syndicate, which I don't remember playing.
The one that I have in the Game Gear though is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Jesus
2,
Christ, that was a
Game Gear
fucking
1.
movie.
I have some Sonic trilogy or something like that. Tempo Junior. I remember playing the shit out of that.
And then I
What else
had
was
Frank Thomas baseball. That was like the first fucking baseball game I ever played.
there? I got NHL All Star. I got a Wile E. Coyote game, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Dude, I have that game too. It's fucking tight.
It's so dope. Yeah, I can't wait to get some batteries and make sure the whole thing works.
Yeah, you gotta get fucking 6 AA batteries.
Oof.
Yeah, 6 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah,
On
and that
each side.
shit's is heavy as fuck, and it eats through them bitches. Like you'll be lucky if you get to play fucking 5 levels of Power Rangers. Then the shit'll be like it'll start to flicker, and then it'll get dim, and it'll just cut the fuck off. You're like, bro, what the fuck, man? It's like the worst shit ever on fucking road trips.
Man, they don't make batteries like they used to.
Yeah.
They gotta be all healthy and safe and shit.
Yeah. And then, so I found my parents, they got smart. They got a fucking rechargeable battery pack. So we would just sit with the battery pack plugged into the cigarette lighter. We'd be playing that shit all day, dude.
Meanwhile, this shit's fucking getting warm and
Getting ready to
get
fucking
in your
explode.
hands.
You'd be like,
that's
oh, my
alright.
screen's getting a little soft in the middle there.
I'm here, so
It's like I fucking made it.
Yes, that's my gaming adventure for this week. I'm very excited.
Didn't Game Boy have that, like the extended battery pack?
Yeah, I actually did. I know what you're talking about.
Man, y'all remember the little lights you had to plug into them?
Oh my god, the little squiggly light that you used to plug in the port.
dude, this is what we call a wraparound. I think they were made by Mad Cats.
Bro,
Bullshit.
I think so.
I remember when like the batteries were about to die and then you had to unplug your little light and then just play with the fucking sporadic street lights you had.
Yeah. Yep. You'd be leaning up against the window. Yeah, dude, I had
They had the little light adapter too. It was like almost like a magnifying glass for the old Game Boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it was in that purple color. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, same here. It's like the clear purple that the Game Boy would come in.
Yep.
Oh no! I was talking about the gray Game Boy.
Oh,
They
I was
had
talking
something
about the Game Boy
similar
Color.
too.
Yeah, for all the young viewers that we have. Game Boys and shit didn't have a backlight for a long time.
That makes me feel old as shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Backlights are new.
bro, dude, my brother had the purple Game Boy, the clear purple, and then I still have my green Game Boy.
Night Sight. It was the Game Boy Night Sight. It was like a fucking
I wasn't
magnifying
cool. I just
glass
had this
light
fucking
that
piece
you
of
put
shit.
over it.
Hey, that was not a piece of shit. You watch your mouth.
It was like a flip up fucking scope you put on your Game Boy.
Yeah, that fucking thing is dope. I remember playing. I had a Hot Wheels game for my Game Boy Advance. I used to play at night with that thing.
Dude, I had a fucking Tonka racing game that you put a AAA battery into the actual cartridge and it had rumble feature.
We should rename the fucking podcast. The motherfuckers can't stop traveling down memory lane.
Hey, dude, gaming
It's educational.
nostalgia sells, man. Gaming is like that's the one thing that I've been doing forever. Like that's the longest
Yeah.
hobby that I've had since I was a kid.
Bro, I kind of want to get a Game Boy Advance now.
Dude, wait for the think it's the NT Pocket. A little bit expensive, but it's gonna play all that shit. It's gonna play.
Oh, that was the one you were talking about before,
yeah,
right?
by
The
Analog. Yeah.
Fuck, was it? It was not a Kickstarter, right? It was an Indiegogo or some shit.
No. Hold on.
Oh, I forgot about the advanced SP that folded.
Yes,
It's called the Analog Pocket. It's not a like Indiegogo or anything. It's from that company that makes like that $400 fucking
Yep, I see it.
NES.
Yeah.
So it plays everything. So that's like
It's got a
I'm not
1440 resolution fucking monitor and it fits in your hand.
yeah, dude, this shit's tight. Coming out 2020. And it's kind of like Switch-esque to where you can plug it into your TV as well. So I'm here for this. So another topic I wanted to get into, there was a new patent that Sony put out, and it's kind of like it's weird, and it's like I don't know what it is. Is if it's like people that like journalists, or if it's just like gamers that love to stretch shit and worry about stuff. But this one, I feel like it has a little validity to it. So they came out with a patent that's pretty much gonna have like a Siri or Hey Alexa type of software within the game, to where it would help you out if you're like stuck on a spot in a game or whatever. So people they're trying, like, I guess they're putting two and two together. So instead of it being like where you can do that for free, what their thought is it would be like well, for me to put it into like easier terms, they're thinking it to be a modern Game Shark, so where you'll pay and then the AI will help you get through that level.
Just grab your phone and Google it.
Well, no, like if it's gonna like assist you in game itself.
Yeah, that's what what the
yeah.
technology is.
That just sounds
So-
dumb.
So what people are thinking is that, like, let's say you're playing a new Dark Souls game and you're stuck on a boss, you can pay a certain amount of whatever the fuck, if it's like virtual currency from Sony or if it's like US dollars, or insert your currency to get through that instead of like grinding through it, which I would wonder if they'd come to like silent agreements with devs to have like certain spots to where like you'll be fucked, and then they'll like almost get certain people to a point where they feel like they would have to do it. So it just seems like super weird.
I don't know, like I feel like something like that is it falls in line with my mindset on a lot of shit, which is if you're stupid enough to pay for it, that's on you.
Because you can just Google it. YouTube, man.
Or like in a case like Dark Souls, like just slam your fucking controller a few times, push through it, and eventually you'll beat it.
Yeah, I fucking hate Dark Souls, dude. It took me like I think it was 33 weeks to beat the first boss, and I was fucking hammered.
Rough fucking games. Took me a year, and that's like abandoning the game in between to beat one boss in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, that's fucked, dude.
Finally beat it, and I used to have a wired 360 controller, which I still think is the best controller I've ever held in my life. I don't have it anymore.
Believe it or not, I feel like the Xbox One controller is a little bit better.
I have an Xbox One controller. I still prefer the old 360 controller.
Well, that's like your opinion, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As I said, I prefer.
What? No one got that reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just brushing over it.
It's a great movie. Fuck off.
He like had his head down like he was kicking the floor, like whatever, man.
You guys.
It's funny.
You guys are assholes.
Fuck up, Donnie. You're out of your element. Fuck off, Discord. It won't let me scroll up.
Fuck. What other topics we got? Apart from the fact that fucking Man-Eater comes out in May.
Oh, they got a release date for it?
Not everyone born to be a freshman.
Call of Duty, the new season starts tomorrow.
Shit,
11?
I barely unlocked anything in the last season.
I got like halfway through. But so there's rumored. I guess they listen to the podcast.
Here comes the train. That was the first horn. I didn't hear the first one, man. normally I get like a warning shot. This one's just like, we're here. Come on, buddy. Kick it into overdrive. This is like the best part of the podcast where everyone's got to shut up and let the train pass. This is my favorite part.
Who's giggling like that?
Corn dog!
Me, man.
He's there all giddy and shit, clapping his hands like, woohoo!
It's a train.
I don't even like hear it unless I'm doing the damn podcast. It's obnoxious. There it goes.
So,
Okay.
COD.
The new season starts tomorrow, and I guess the devs listen to the podcast because they're rumored to be bringing back Rust. That you guys remember Rust from
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2. Yeah.
Which it's like I don't know why I said Rust. I should have said fucking Terminal, because it's like they're releasing all the shitty ass fucking maps. Like, just cut the shit already. We don't want to be cluster fucked every fucking 5 seconds.
I don't know, man. Some of the best fun I've had so far was playing Shipment 24/7.
Shipment is I fucking hate.
I
Although
love Shipment.
I did get 100 and I think 11 kills in that map, but
I've been using it. I used it to unlock Big's character with the LMG. Super fucking easy.
I don't know,
500
man.
kills on that map with an LMG? Yes.
But what I'm saying is, like, they could just fucking bring back like Wasteland or something cool like that. Like, why the fuck? It's like they're taking the low hanging fruit and they're like,
Minimum
come on,
effort.
guys.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
But it
But
works.
also-
That's the shit. Like it's working. So they're gonna put in the least amount of effort possible to keep everything viable.
Yeah, fuck that game. But also, they're it looks like they're bringing back the UMP or UMP 45, but it's gonna be called I think it's gonna be called the Striker 45 SMG. Which that was like one of my favorite guns in Modern Warfare 2.
Didn't they just nerf the fuck out of the M4 in COD?
That was like on the first update. That was a while back, dude.
No, I remember that. But didn't they nerf it again from what I was hearing?
I don't know about times.
I don't know, dude. All I know is that I'm gonna try season 2. If I get back into it, hopefully they have some better maps than Shipment and Vacant.
I think the paid for character this time is Ghost, right?
Yeah. Yep. Ghost is back as well.
But he's like the premium thing. Like the last time was that other chick, whatever the fuck her name
Yeah,
was.
the biggest one.
Fuck.
It's catching on. Good shit.
I try and look out for you when I can.
I appreciate that.
But
I'm still one of the only people that does not have that fucking pack in Tarkov. I'm gonna.
even fucking Merith got it?
No. Me and Marath are the only ones in our group.
You guys gotta stand together.
Yep.
Kuda got it? What a fucking sellout.
Kuda got it. Everybody else got it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Not without a donation on stream. I'm not doing it.
I gotta get the big dick one.
Hey, 90 extra bucks. You're good to go, man. All the inventory space you need.
I'd be like, steady. I gotta get it. Honestly, I'm not gonna get it because I'm like, the game's cool, but I just don't want to pay $90, have a ton of shit, and then get the fucking, oh man, I fucking lost the gun. Jeez, where it's like, oh, I don't want to go. We fucking died, and then rage quit. And also, like, I'm like super into like skate. Dude, Skate 3 fucking, that's been pulling in like some fucking views and some cool ass fucking people.
Good shit.
Like, I'm for real, dude. Like, I was talking with this dude for like an hour, and he's like, "Oh, well, it's like 2 a.m. in Moscow. I gotta go." I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I saw that when I was lurking.
Like, oh shit.
He was there. He was chilling and shit. He said, "Bob." He said, "It was in Moscow." I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Yo,
It's
power
Mr.
of the internet,
Worldwide.
man.
Yeah. But I was like, it was cool. And then like there so this is like kind of what I want to talk about this week too. I want to work on getting my Xbox 360 working again. Like it's working even though it sounds like a fucking jet engine. But I want to get an SSD in there, man. Like I could download games on there and it'll be like a little bit faster. And I was like looking into it. I think I'm gonna try.
Would it even work?
I think so because I saw people on YouTube they have SSDs in there, but I think I'm gonna try and clone the 250 gig, the hard drive that's in there already, and then put it onto a 250 SSD.
I fucking hated the fact that the 360 had that proprietary connection for their hard drives.
Oh no! You're talking about the original white one,
the white one, and then the Elite, the first one that had the HDMI. I had that one, and that had a 500 gig proprietary hard drive as well.
No, I'm working with the slim one.
So it allowed for externals.
It allowed for externals, and it has SATA connection. It just has this little what's the fucking word? Like a little cage that it's in. To where like it's a little box, but it has the two connectors, and then you just slot it into the hard drive space.
Yeah, if it's SATA, you should be set then. Just get a 2.5 drive.
That's what I was thinking. And because you remember how I cloned the hard drive for my SSD that I got on Black Friday?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna do that same process for the Xbox hard drive.
As long as there's like no proprietary formatting for the drive, you should be set.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I gotta look into it. But I actually bought like Skate 2, which is not on backwards compatible yet. And then I bought Tony Hawk American Wasteland, which I'm pretty hyped about. And I'm gonna look for like Underground 2 and like fucking Need for Speed Underground. Cause like I want to be like prepared if they're backwards compatible, so I could just play them on the new systems. But if they're not, I kind of want to get back into playing my Xbox 360 because that's like my favorite console of all time. And I miss playing some of those games.
Fuck. That actually just reminds me, like, I was playing something old as shit the other day. Do you guys ever played Fable?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, I got it for free.
Never played it.
It was on
awesome,
Games
man.
for Gold one month, and I got it for free. It was sick, dude.
I was replaying Fable a couple days ago. I was like, God damn it. Where's the new Fable at, son? And I remember they went out of business and just had a slight tear in my room.
Well, yeah, and Fable 3 sucked.
Yeah, Fable 3 was trash.
I think that's the one
like-
I got for free.
Bro, Fable 3, the pause menu, you had to like move around to get to your shit. Like, hold on, I want to pause to like check the volume setting. You had to like walk into a closet when you pause to get to your settings.
That was like the first, like one of the first games that I got was that was like not fucking Call of Duty or like shooter, like sports game. And I actually got into it. Yeah, it was.
Now,
I played
when you
Fable
played
2
Fable-
and 3.
when you played Fable, were you a good guy or a bad guy?
Oh, I was a bad guy, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Big.
Huh?
Good guy or bad guy when you play Fable?
The first run? Or this, like,
Well,
Overall.
your default.
my default was always bad guy.
What the fuck? You guys are awful.
The only time I was a good guy was in BioShock, the original one.
You say
I
when you were
always play the
Yeah.
good guy on the first playthrough. Like, get the meticulous shit out the way so that every time I revisit it, I can just fucking do whatever I want.
No, and BioShock. So that's why I feel like BioShock's my favorite game of all time, because that was like it was super dope when I first played it through. But that was the first game that I actually wanted to play twice to see what the other outcome was.
And Bioshocks were always ballsy games, man. They touched on a lot of touchy topics.
And they were gorgeous for the time too.
Yeah. I think I was replaying Bioshock Infinite like last year, and I forgot Like that, I was like, man, that game got a little racy, like right off the bat.
I haven't played that one. I have it on the PS4 with the collection, but I still haven't gotten into it yet.
I like it. It's more of it doesn't quite feel like a BioShock, but more of just a shooter type game.
It's funny because I think the issue was every time we saw a new BioShock game, we associated it with water when, like, that's not necessarily what it was about. So then when Infinite came out, it's like, but it has nothing to do with water. I'm like, why do you think it has anything to do with water?
Because Rapture was under the ocean.
Exactly. Dude. It's like nothing in the title indicated water. Like, it wasn't Aquatic Shock. It was BioShock.
And boy, did that game shock. Savage Devalators.
I was thinking about the laugh track, and that came out that way better.
I got one last topic. So I'm going to the auto show next week, but I saw this video like I think a couple of weeks ago. It's about a new Honda electric car, and I'm not really into electric cars because it's like I like to hear the engine and I like to like work on my own cars and shit. But I think Honda, they made like a cool car because it's shaped like a vintage Japanese car, but it's all brand new. So that kind of got like the wheels turning, and I was like, man, it would be so fucking sick if like that's how companies would move forward. Like they'd bring back like cult classic cars, but modernize them to be electric. Because I mean, even though I feel like it's gonna be kicking and screaming, the future is going towards all electric vehicles.
So I'm looking at this thing. It looks like an old Golf, but it's a Honda.
Yeah, look up the Honda CVCC.
I mean, electric is definitely the future, but like, I don't know, it still hasn't caught on widely enough yet. So I'm just wondering how long. Yeah, I'm wondering how long it's going to be before it becomes a new standard.
I have no idea. I just know it's in the future.
It will become the standard when they make the charging times efficient. But right now, you drive to work and back, and you have to charge it for fucking like 16 hours just to go to work the next day. It's
also ridiculous. I feel it would become a standard when they find a way for it to be viable to charge on 120 volts instead of 220. It's not, at least in the United States, not a lot of garages have 220 running to them.
Solar, man. Solar. That's what we got to do. Just cover the whole thing in solar panels. You're set.
I mean, that'd be cool, like, if they had a roof, like, made out of solar panels. Like, especially if you're parked outside, but then how the fuck would you expect it to charge, like, quick enough? Like, but then again, it's sitting in, like, let's say you take it to work, it's sitting in a parking lot for, like, 8 hours a day.
Like, shouldn't they, like, charge themselves, like, kinetic energy and shit? Like,
they do, like, when
hybrids.
you're braking, they do get charged, but it's not, like, enough to where it's, like, charging it more than it's using it.
Mm.
Like, it will extend your life a little bit, but it's not like...
I'm thinking about those old school fucking survival crank radios. You just crank them up and it'll hold the battery charge for a while.
I know what you're talking about. Like the camping lights and shit.
Yes. One of those. Like, it's a radio, flashlight, whatever, and you just sit there cranking it, and you'd pass it to all your fucking friends to take turns doing it. Oh, well, at least one other person knew what I was talking about. That's cool.
Are they... Do electric cars have... they still use hydraulics for their shit, right?
On electric vehicles? I don't think so.
Because a huge problem that Pontiac had with the G8 is they went from hydraulic steering to electric, and when your battery dies, like if you're going on the road and your battery dies, you can't turn your fucking wheels. So they have to get it towed. Like, you can't push it anywhere.
Oh, I have a radio like that.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a fucking
not how it
flashlight, radio / like whatever, built all in one.
Yeah, my dad's got a couple of like camping lanterns
Mhm.
like that. As I
don't know,
like
dude.
the idea of electric cars, but I just don't think we're ready for them.
Yeah, no.
I think it's a matter of just like
It does-
price
oh, wait,
coming
this is-
down and all that shit.
This is pretty fucking cool, though. It's got rear view mirrors on the inside that are cameras in the door handles.
Dude, it's so fucking cool.
Like that's pretty neat.
Wait,
right
that's
Yeah.
a picture of the car boom?
No, that's the
That's
car
the old one.
that's the old one, the old Honda CB.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that was the new one because I was like, ugh.
No, the new one. It's like it shows the picture in the video.
Yeah, this dude's driving around. I mean, there's cool stuff on it. Like I said, I don't know if we're ready for it. It's not going to be marketable yet. But I do like the mirrors on the inside. They're just little TVs.
Yeah, dude, it's so
I mean,
fucking.
it makes a
sick.
lot of sense for like European cars because all their streets are tiny and they drive in. This dude's like driving around. It looks like Rome. They're going down these old ass stone buildings and shit.
So man, dude,
That's
it'd be
cool.
so
I actually like the way
fucking
that looks.
sick, dude. Like, cause there used to be an old CVCC wagon, and it just like has because like I'm really into like older Japanese cars, so it's like it's super sick that they're bringing back like one of the '80s like little shitbox cars that looks really cool, but they're modernizing it and
Yeah,
it's,
the
like,
front looks like Wally. It's pretty cool.
It's really cool. I just thought it was interesting that like they're because it makes sense as well. Like it was like a whole mess of like thoughts that came up when I saw this fucking car. Because like it would make sense for other Japanese companies to bring back these cars because like people in their 40s and 30s, like when they went to college, their parents would buy them like these little fucking CVCCs or like Toyota Corollas and shit like that. So it would like hit a nostalgia factor, like if they were to bring those back as electric vehicles or hybrids, because if you look at like the 2005 Mustang that was based on like the 68 or like the 2008 or 2006, I'm sorry, Challenger that was based on the one from the 70s, those sell all day long. I feel like not only would that minorly get people like a little bit motivated or like at least interested in going to an EV, but it would sell like crazy because it has that nostalgia factor and it has like a design that is tried and true.
They'd have to do a car that they don't make anymore.
Yeah. Oh, also I heard that Hummer's coming back with an electric pickup. I was watching that on a
I can
video.
tell you right now, Hummer owners don't want electric. If someone has owned a Hummer in their lifetime, they want diesel and they want, I don't know, rocket launchers in the tires or some shit. Hummer owners don't care about the environment.
Fuck, dude, I remember the H2 and the H3 fucking craze.
They're shit.
Yeah, my old manager at the bowling alley had a Hummer. And we got to be in the Naperville parade, and we were the last in line, and she took her Hummer down it.
What was another fucking gimmicky car? The Avalanche? I forgot who made that one.
Avalanche.
Chevy.
There you go.
Yep. I like how you said that with utter disgust. Ooh, fucking Chevy.
I don't have problems with Chevy. Well,
Actually, Chevy,
yeah, they're
kind of-
Chevys.
because you were talking about nostalgic cars, people talk about time travel a lot, you know? And if I could time travel, I want to go back to the early 90s to a car show just to, like, here's the 96 Cavalier and be like, that people were excited about that?
You don't like a fucking 96 bubble cup? You're fucking ridiculous, dude.
What, a 96 Cavalier? That was my first car and it broke in half.
You thought you said Caprice.
No, Cavalier.
Oh, yeah, fuck Cavaliers.
Like, could you, like, I want to see, like, all these shitty cars, like the 92 Corolla. People are like, oh, that looks nice. That's really cool. People are, like, gawking at it on the showroom floor. I want to see that shit.
I don't know. Like, there's like concerts and shit that I'd want to go to. Like, if I had a time machine, and like there'd like be like shit I'd want to buy because I know how much it's worth now.
So the funny thing about time travel, like, if you had time travel, would you go back for something personal, or would you like morally feel obligated to go back and prevent some shit from our history?
No, I'm gonna be a complete dickhead. I'm just gonna go back and fucking buy shit that's expensive now. I'm gonna go to concerts. I'm gonna see what like my house looked like when it was being built, or like look at like I just wanted it. It would be for me like vacation. That's a Malibu.
Gotcha,
That was my
gotcha.
first
Yeah, I
car
know.
too.
That's a '01 Malibu classic. People like on the showroom floor. Oh my god!
So you're talking about like time travel temporary? You got to come back to
Yeah,
current
I would
times and
use
shit.
it
Like
like
it's not
vacation.
going back one way trip.
No, I would use that like vacation. Like you go back to fucking, like you go to London in '86 and catch a fucking concert or something, or like you go back to Chicago in 1988 to watch Jordan win the dunk contest. Like shit like that, like, or like go to see. I don't know, dude. Like it'd be cool to go back to like live through cool parts of history that you weren't alive for.
You know, I was talking to my stepdad. He's in his 60s now.
It's like a perfect conundrum that Corndog didn't come up with.
And I was, well, I did. What are you talking? I started talking about time travel and car shows. I was talking to him, and I was like, Mark, did you like ever think when you were growing up in the 70s, did you ever think that you'd have a computer in your pocket? And he was just like lost in his phone, and he goes, nope. Like, not even talking to me. I'm like, oh, how times have changed. Like, when you think about it, like, your parents probably didn't even think computers would be a normal thing.
It was funny. My mom, I forgot what we were talking about, but she said that my grandfather, he bought the first color TV in the neighborhood. Like people would come over and watch TV.
My great grandpa, he passed away in 2014, and he was born in 1924. I was like, you realize how much crazy shit that guy has seen? Well, what was wrong in the 20s?
The Depression?
He was born in the Depression, and he got to see the internet. Like, that's just wild. Like, what are we going to see?
Right. It makes you wonder, like, there are some things we've seen, but, like, they're not too far in any one direction.
Are you serious? We've seen some of the dumbest shit.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I was thinking about that too. Like, we've seen some remarkable stuff in our lifetime. Like fucking Y2K, how people were fucking buying water and shit because they thought the world was gonna.
Bro, I talk about Y2K quite a bit actually, because there's people I know at work that were born after it, and I was like, you know why 2012 wasn't scary? Because we lived through fucking Y2K.
Oh yeah, remember how like
the end of the
The world's supposed to end in 2012.
No, you guys remember how people from the church were saying 6606 the world was gonna end?
Yeah.
Like we've lived through the fucking
the actual fucking retards that run society. Correct.
That's what I say, but that feels more like just population paranoia. Like what has like stricken us like super hard, like Great Depression, stuff like that. Like what are some of those that stand out to you that we've been through?
Fucking idiot. Tide Pods.
The
Ebola.
the stock
Swine
market
flu.
crash of 2008,
Yeah.
swine flu, fucking Ebola. You guys remember Coney 2012?
Oh, I remember that whole movement.
What else?
All this shit was dumb.
The Cubs won the World Series. That was like,
Bro, did you see
Crazy
the
as
stuff
fuck.
where they were talking about things that have happened since the last time the Cubs won the World Series?
there's a lot of like that was like over 100 years, dude.
Yeah, the best one on there is that when they first won it.
I think it was 1908.
So when they won it, they put up polls on Wrigley Field for their future championships. And since then, they had rusted and fallen down.
So yeah, World Series 1908 and 1907.
That's so funny to me that they put up more polls like, oh, we're going to keep winning. And then it took them over 100 years. And those things fucking broke.
But they did it, man.
Yeah, dude. That's obviously in the grand scheme of things doesn't fucking matter because it's like sports. But like, it was pretty cool because like, you know how many people like lived in there was like an entire lifetime went by before they won another World Series, which I think that's kind of crazy that for whatever reason
couple generations.
we were there to see it.
It's wild to me to think that there's people alive that have been to every Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. That's fucking crazy.
That's so crazy to me. I bet shit tasted different back in the 20s.
Yeah, that's less like preservatives and bullshit and fake food.
I bet you the air tasted funny.
Like cleaner or worse?
Probably even worse
Oh.
because that was like around. Wasn't that around like when the United States was getting industrialized? There'd be like a lot of smog and shit in the air.
Smag?
Smag.
Yeah, smag. All the smag out there.
It's working in Boston
A
Harbor.
lot of smog in the area. You get fucks knew what I was talking about.
Smag. No, the smag is really funny to me.
Fuck you guys.
And fucking inflation is weird too.
Yeah, dude, like looking at like a car that came out in 1990, and then with inflation, it's like more than your fucking house is worth. And you're like, holy shit.
Like, look at this. 47 cents for a pound of bacon in 1925. 9 cents for a pound of bread. Do you buy bread by weight?
Bye by the
Not
loaf.
that I know of.
I buy a loaf. I don't never weigh my bread.
Yeah, it's like, you guys have like 2 pounds of bread? It's like, we've got rolls, pick out the amount you need.
Yeah. 55 cents for a pound of butter. That's a lot.
And then milk used to be delivered. Like that's the
Yeah.
one thing I miss about like working on the outside and being like a technician and shit, like going from different houses and shit. Like you can see like with the architecture, you could see the history of what used to go on like in the city. And that's like why I said for if time travel ever, which it's more than likely never gonna happen, if that's ever a thing, I just want to go back and like see shit that like even normal shit just to see like what it was before I was born, like to get in person like history lessons, if you will.
You're a much better person than I would be. I'd just be going back to dumb points in time. Fucking shut up.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Only
I will go-
if you can return to your timeline without any of those consequences taking effect.
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
go.
you know what I'd do? I'd go back to when the Sears Tower was being built. When they're building it, and just be like, it's not going to be tall enough. They're going to need antennas or some shit. And then leave. Because they had to put those big-ass antennas to stay the world's tallest building for, I don't know, a bit. Then Dubai was like, oh, we'll touch the clouds.
I would go fuck up a couple KKK members.
Wait, why do you need to go back in time for that?
Wait.
Yeah.
No,
isn't that
I mean
weird?
like when they first
Fuck them up as
started.
toddlers? Like, how does this work?
Yes, Eddie. I'm gonna go back and figure out that a person who's a toddler is a KKK member and kick them.
Yeah, just tip them over.
I mean, you could do it now. Like, why do you gotta go back in time?
That's what.
I mean, the KKK isn't as like they're not really relevant anymore. At least like in mainstream media, and they don't have like as much power as they did back then. Like socially, I feel like it wouldn't be as gratifying to do it now than to do it back then.
I feel like you gotta work out some of these details in this plan, Chief. Like I see where you're going, but plan it out just a little more. You'll be alright.
Is no one really going to go back and, like, I don't know, fuck up the stingray that killed our
Jesus
hero?
fucking Christ!
No, he's got
Am
a
I
great
the only
point
one
right
that's on this right now?
Just go back and be like, maybe not today. Let's not
He's
do
like-
this. Let's
He's
go.
like getting on the boat and be like, please wear this chain vest. Just trust me.
Or
He's
just
like, no, mate.
save the baby from falling into the.
But that's what the question I asked was like, do we go back and morally change something we know about, or do we go back for personal gain?
No, I would just go back and have a vacation in a different time period. I have to make sure it's like the right time period.
Because there's like the obvious question. It's like, well, if you can go back in time, everyone's like, you'd go back and like to World War II and try to prevent that. And I think about it, it's like, but how the, like, let's say my
How?
heart was in the right place. Exactly. If I went back, how the fuck would I prevent any of it?
Yeah, okay.
You just bring a BuzzFeed article.
God damn it.
All the teenagers in 2020 only take the news from this source. Trust me, it's legit.
Oh, man.
I fucking hate those kids.
Walking around
I'm a
Germany.
BuzzFeed
I'm looking for a
journalist.
politician with a dumb mustache. Have you seen him? And I'm like, why do you want to know? Like, I'm gonna fucking punch him in the face, man.
Same thing like I said to Boom. You go back to when he was a kid. Fuck him up then.
I'd be doing shit that's like way just more personal gain.
You got to do like really subtle shit. Like
go back, take out stock in Amazon, Google, all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, trust me. I'm fucking buying gold. I'm buying silver. Don't get me wrong, boy.
How much? All of it. Give me. What do you got? Take it. I'll fucking take it.
Give me. No, shut up. You don't need to know my name. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then I'd like, I don't know. This is like super fucking weird, like shoe collector thing. But I'd go and I'd buy like all the original shoes, and I'd buy like 2 pairs of each of them, and then I'd sell them now because I'd be able to make a fucking killing on them.
Shit, you wouldn't even have to go back that far. You remember when the lotto hit like $1 billion, like 1.4 billion?
Yeah.
And nobody had won up until the weeks before the one guy won? Just go the week before that.
Yeah, but that's you need to think about that.
I think
how the fuck are you gonna get the right numbers for that shit?
I think our
the winning numbers
would be separate.
The numbers are available, guy. What are you talking about? Go back in time with the knowledge of what numbers won the week before and play them.
You guys are on completely different shit than I'm thinking.
I don't do petty shit.
Yeah, so I was like, what are you thinking, big?
We're on a podcast. Elaborate.
It's literally like go back in time, punch the person that made BuzzFeed in the head. Just shake up the shit that does R&D for the dude that does Apple. Like, you don't need to have 19 different fucking charger cables. What else we got? Obviously, we're saving Steve Irwin. That's a given. What else we got here? All the shitty movies that were made in the past couple of years, just start punching those fucking people in the throat. It'd just be going back. You guys watch Rick and Morty, where they're just going back and they just get buff and just start beating the shit out of people. That's all it would be.
Yeah, dude.
It'd just be me just going back in time at different points and just fucking hammering on just the dumbest.
No, you gotta do like really petty shit and take the credit for it. So like go back to Arnold and be like, you're gonna be the governor one day, and then leave. And then when he does, he'd be like, some random dude in Walmart told me I was gonna be governor. Now here I am.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, that was me.
Just taking whoever's fucking, like, whoever the first white knight was, just taking all of his fucking computers away because he doesn't need them. It's just gonna make the internet worse. Shit like that.
So, like, which Fast and the Furious movie would you go back to and, like, try to stop the franchise at that point?
Tokyo Drift.
Really? That one?
Tokyo Drift was cool.
I was fine with 1 and 2.
I would go back, like, to the 70s and buy like a muscle car, and then like try to find a way to save it up and like put it in. I don't know. Like maybe I'd buy like a storage thing and then just keep all the shit that I buy, and then when I come back from time travel vacation, just hope it's still there. And then just fucking sell it. Like,
he goes back, the fucking lock gets clipped because he didn't pay the fucking fee on it. It's like, God damn it!
I'm gonna be I'm paying for 30 years.
Up front, yeah.
Up front.
Don't fucking touch this. I don't give a fuck what company you switch to. Here's the fucking money.
I will fucking sue you.
In 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years later. 30 years.
It's just a fucking relic. Like, he's gone through every time period, comes back to this one place, throws it in there.
Fucking stack. No. It's like Tarkov. You got to remove that shit.
God damn it,
as soon as you extract, you take that shit back. Take it out. I just get like a 96 fucking Challenger, and then like it'll be like, this guy found a barn find of a 1969 Dodge Charger with 0 miles, and I fucking sell it for like $1 million, and then.
But like at that point, wouldn't you just like
launder it?
Get something for like $1 million? If the overall goal is the money, then like just skip the fucking middleman. Do the investments and stock.
No,
and
because it's about going through the motion of like fucking buying a Dodge Charger in 1969.
Oh, like getting the feeling of owning it then. Fresh,
yeah, just like
authentic.
Make this list.
Because there was like dedicate a whole fucking podcast to what would we do if we went back in time.
Yeah, dude, and then just see what the fuck is going on.
We'll set it up into serious shit and fucking petty shit and meaningful shit.
There's just like all this shit that you hear about, like how different it is now, and like how back in the day, this, that, and the third. And it's like you just want to go back and like see it and like live through it. Just because like there's nothing like really cool that's going on now, or like really meaningful. Like maybe looking back in hindsight, or like when we're really old, we'll think about, wow, that was cool. Those were the days. But it doesn't really seem like there's anything like that now.
I'd go back to 1999 and tell everyone Y2K is real. Be like, no, I'm from the future. It happens.
But like, how would you make it? Like, how would you really sell in on that?
I don't know. I'll study it for a bit and then go back.
Like, I'm trying to think what the hell the most pettiest fucking thing that you could do if you went back in time to do.
I think it's that bottom one I just put on there.
You can't tell that to Patrick Ewing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why you gotta attack salsa water like that, dude?
Cause.
Oh, man. Punch the idiot who made salsa water.
That's the best one.
What does that have
Now
to do
we're
with you? Why you gotta try and fuck up my seltzer water? It
Yeah, dude. Like,
has nothing to do with you.
It's just dumb.
I think the pettiest thing you could do is like go all the way back to like fucking primordial soup and just like see what you can do to it.
Just fucking save a whole T-Rex for no fucking reason.
Or just like
The only one
fucking
who existed.
hakalugi and like the primordial soup. See what the fuck happens.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, especially not steady, because then there'd be millions of petty ass motherfuckers like
That sounds like trash.
You come back, we're fucking flying and shit. It's like, god damn it, really? A
You
little
think
bit of spit
dinosaurs
did all
would be
that?
afraid of us?
Oven Dude has like the supreme leader of the world.
Yo, I'd go back
Guy,
and tell
for a guy that's
Vince from
super Puerto Rican, you bring up Aventura a lot.
That's the only like relevant Dominican thing I could think of.
I'd go back and tell Vince from Slap Chop to just keep his nose clean.
Oh, gotcha.
From Slap Chop, the dude who like,
Yeah.
was on coke and punched the shit out of a hooker. Just be like, dude, just keep your act together. You'll do great things.
Like, we already know who Big would save. Who the fuck would I go back and save?
Who would I save?
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin, you dipshit.
Oh, yeah, that's the only one. Everybody else is getting throw punches.
And Billy Mays, I'd say Billy. So we didn't have to deal with Vince.
Yes.
Two birds, one
I
stone.
see.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I see no losses in any points in this.
Off topic, but did you guys see they brought back the XFL, the Extreme Football League?
Everything is off topic around here, dude.
What's on topic?
He's nuts.
See? So you're doing great.
No, but did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Like their I went to their like the shop for merch just to see like what their jerseys look like. And I don't know if it was like they're trying to like bait you into buying shit like with the fake like with the things being limited, like the fake shortage or whatever. But the majority of the jerseys were fucking sold out, dude.
I think New York won their first game and they were shotgunning beers in the locker room.
So I'm noticing that with a lack of conundrums at the end,
We're just
we
fucking
don't
going
know
on.
when the fuck to end.
Why don't we just do that, like with what we were just talking about? Like, if you had to save 2-3 people, if you can go back in time, who would it be?
3 people to save.
Billy Mays, Steve Irwin,
Fuck Billy
Chris Farley.
Mays.
Hey, you chill.
Chris Farley I'm about, but fuck Billy Mays, dude.
Yeah, because you got to think about people that died of unnatural causes.
Everybody here should be saying Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin.
But I mean, we're not all going to go back and save Steve Irwin. Like, one person got it covered. All right, cool. You know, the rest of us have 3 other ones.
Hey, this is insurance.
Group effort.
Sure.
All right, fair enough.
All 4 of us are walking at him and be like, dude, trust.
Shit, I can't think of people that I would go back and save.
I wouldn't really save anybody.
Not even fucking Kobe. No one's going for Kobe.
Oh, I was thinking way back. I don't know.
Still back in time. It's not that
True,
old.
fair enough. That is true.
Me personally, I wouldn't put forth it because I would think somebody else would do that.
So we got to make it like we're the only ones with time travel. There we go. So now that it kind of like hones in who you got to pick.
So before we go down this rabbit hole, I should say, thank you guys so much for checking us out on this week's episode of The Other Controller. I do appreciate the continued support. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please do hit us with the follow and then hit the bell if you do want to be notified every time we do upload a new podcast. Or Brown, Corn Dog, Steady, and sometimes Merc.
No, man, that's not happening.
Have a great week.